Welcome back, Gary Laubach, John Leone. This is the Postgame show presented by the Maroon Club, enhancing 23 Division I sports. Join the Maroon Club today. Player of the game presented by Coca-Cola. Experience the Coke side of a life. We've got Colleen waiting with the coach and waiting right now with Eric Sonberg, who had a terrific ball game. Here's Colleen.
Congratulations on your first win and at home. How you feeling?
Feel good. Definitely feels good to get our first win. So yeah.
You consistently were able to find the basket, 16 points. How were you able to do that?
Just running our offense. I mean, we weren't really too happy the way we played in the first half. So one of our big emphasis in halftime was just mainly defense, and then just get offensive boards, defensive boards, and just be the tougher team. But yeah, my teammates just helped me get open, and I just made shots.
What are you looking forward to most about next weekend's Cathedral Classic?
It's definitely going to be a test for us, but like with every other non-conference game, it's each game we learn and get better from. So it's going to be good for us.
Thank you, Senior Eric Sonberg. Good luck. Back to you.
All right, Mike McGarvey is working his way quickly towards Colleen. So as soon as he gets down there, Colleen will have an opportunity to chat with her. And Mike's there now, so Colleen, it's all yours.
First home game and a win. How you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good. I think our second half was a little bit better than our first half, so I'm excited for that. I think our guys came out in the second half with a little bit more urgency than the first half. And these games are tough. Wilkes is a good team. They're 3-0. They're well coached, and they got a lot of guys that can make plays. So we had to settle into the game, and we had to get a rhythm to it. And then on the defensive end, I think in the second half we turned up a little bit, which allowed our offense to be better.
You mentioned that you wanted the guys to play with joy and passion. How did they demonstrate that today?
We were slow moving to start, so it was hard for them to have a little bit of joy and passion. But once we got some deflections, some steals, some turnovers, some runouts, then I think our guys had a lot of fun doing it. We shared the ball pretty well, 15 assists on 27 made shots, which is something I always look at. But our aggressiveness and that passion really shows, I think, on the offensive rebounds. 13 offensive rebounds, a lot of those in the second half. It gave us a lot of opportunities to score.
Finally, how has this game prepared you for the Cathedral Classic this coming weekend?
Yeah, I think we're learning who we are, right? We've had some injuries. We've got a couple things going on with lineups and trying to learn what fits together, what's our defensive lineup, what's our three-point shooting lineup. We've gone through some ruts here on the offensive end a little bit in each game that we played. So as we get prepared to play three mid-major teams that have had a lot of success traditionally, I think it gives us the confidence that we can play at the highest of levels. We just have to do it a bit more consistently. And having 3 games in a row after Thanksgiving will give us a great opportunity to do that.
Well, best of luck, Coach. Head Coach Mike McGarvey. Back to you, John and Gary.
Colleen McNamara, thank you very much. Job well done today on the sidelines. It's time for the highlights. That means it's time for John Leone. Here he is.
Yeah, Gary, you heard Mike McGarvey say it. The second half really brought out a little more urgency, a little more intensity on the part of the Leopards. But early on, Eric Sonberg, our Coca-Cola player of the game, got things started. And then, of course, you mentioned it, Lucas Lesko and Wilkes doing some nice ball movement of their own. That was Kyle Jenkins on the nice dish off. I think that was Vanderbond who threw that pass. Deep three here by Gula. That was a nice shot. I'm sorry, that was not Gula, but Gary, they really all chipped in, did Wilkes. I think Izzy Metz is going to be pleased with his team's effort. That was Devin Hines. It was the Lafayette defense in the second half that really got things going. That one's Gula from way downtown, and Wilkes stayed relatively close. I thought their interior defense, particularly by Trent Fisher, that you saw right there, did a nice job. And then Justin Vanderbond returns the favor at that end. How about Chris Rabayo stepping out, hitting a big three? Both Vanderbond and Rabayo at 6'11" can do that. That's a nice inside move, a little reverse layup that time by Eli Becker. And then, again, we talked about Sonberg and how big he was in the second half. We've seen Devin Hines do this This is Joshua Weish, the freshman out of Philadelphia, Cristo Rey High School. And then Ryan Pettit gets into the act with some good defense and transition. Points off turnovers were big. That's a great pass from Hines to Jenkins and the flush. You heard Mike McGarvey talk about ball movement. Good shooting is the product of good ball movement. The step back by Devin Hines drills a three. So there were some bright spots to be sure, Gary, and I think Mike McGarvey underscored most of them. A competitive basketball game against against a team they should have beaten, and they did, and they took care of business in the end.
Here are the final numbers. You see Lafayette shooting 45%. That's not a bad number by any stretch, 32% from beyond the arc. Rebounds were close, 37-36. And turnovers, not so bad. Lafayette had a bunch early on. They spread them out nicely the rest of the ball game. I guess the bad number right now for Lafayette in this ball game, from the free throw line, they were 8 for 17. So that's something to work on, John.
Historically, Lafayette has been among national leaders in free throw shooting. I'm sure that will get better. But I think when you looked at those rebounding numbers, Gary, it was decidedly in favor of Wilkes. Surprisingly, in the first half, Lafayette shored itself up defensively and in terms of rebounding as well. They did not turn the ball over. All those important boxes were checked.
Sonberg led the team in scoring, led the team in rebounding. Also double figures for Devin Hines and Kyle Jenkins. Lesko with 12 and Fisher with 11 for Wilkes. Wilkes stays 3-0. Lafayette goes to 1-3, and they'll get ready to go to the Penn Palestra this coming weekend. We wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. But we will be back on Tuesday night. That's a 6 o'clock start when the women will take on NJIT. John and I will be here. Why don't you come here right before you start making that turkey? It's been a good ball game. We're glad you've spent a Sunday afternoon with us. For John Sabino and the LSN crew, we thank you so much for watching. For John Leone, I'm Gary Laubach. Goodbye, everybody.